Hiya and welcome to JanQuest. Today we are profiling branded Dinomorphia, so if you have the Dino DNA to play this deck, then stay tuned for the profile. So let's get to it then, guys. We'll start off with the main deck, and we start off with 3 copies of Theresia. So this is the main normal summon of the deck. So when it's summoned, you can set a Dinomorphia trap from deck. So you can also dodge Ash Blossom that way, which is really cool. When it resolves that effect when you've got 2,000 life points or less, it also gains 500 attack, which is kind of negligible anyway, but when it gets destroyed, you can banish a trap to float into Diplos. So yeah, that's kind of your main starter that you want to draw into. Next we play 3 Diplos. I tend not to want to normal summon this, but you kind of want one in grave to kind of float into and get the Foolish off, usually so you can copy a trap effect. When it does Foolish and it resolves, there's a mandatory 500 life point burn as well, and same as the other one, it can float into Thesia. Next, as we're playing a Dino deck, we're playing 1 Miscellaneousaurus. We'd love to play more, but obviously it's at 1. We do play the Fossil Dig package for consistency, and it seems stupid not to play this, because you can grab it if you've got the other bits that you want, and it's a non-once per turn card anyway. So yeah, you might as well put the Misc into search. So this just gives you protection. Obviously you can banish it from grave as well for some recovery, but that will rarely come up. But yeah, it just helps your plays go through and help to protect. Next we play 2 Lord of the Heavenly Prisons. So this one you reveal in your hand, and then on your opponent's turn, when one of your back row or one of their back row is activated, then you can special summon it and set any spell or trap, which is kind of bonkers. And while it's revealed in your hand, it protects your back row as well. So it's also a big beater, so that's never a bad thing. Next we play 2 Aluba. So we are teching in like a Despia branded small package. So this is a good normal summon if you don't have, say, a Dinomorphia. So if I don't open Thesia and I open this, and I can still go into like a Mirror Jade. And it's especially good if you've already got like a Domain or a Frenzy, so it's kind of a good alternate way of playing. So you grab your branded fusion, make your plays that way. It's also got the effect when one of your fusions is removed to special summon and to negate a monster effect, and then obviously get its search off. We play the Fallen of Albaz, which is mandatory because we need that name in the deck to be able to go into the fusions, and it can be a good meta call as well when it's summoned, being able to pretty much do the Super Poly effect to special summon one of their monsters away. We play Destrudo, so I'll show you a little tech later, but there is a reason we're playing this. Just a great extender and helps get into one of our win cons. And then obviously it halves life points to summon as well, so has a bit of synergy there. Next we play 2 copies of Effect Veiler. We can also use this to make one of our win cons, but it's a little bit more niche. But obviously it's just a generic hand trap, being able to negate as well. We play the 3 Dig to help with consistency, get into our Thesia hopefully. If you've already got it, then grab the Misc. 3 copies of Branded Fusion, so ideally you want to open one of these with your Dinomorphia plays so you can get a Mirror Jade, as well as be able to set all your crazy back row cards. 1 Call by the Grave. I don't think I need to explain really why, it just helps protect hand traps and to interrupt the opponent's grave. So now on to some of the crazy Dinomorphia traps. So we've got Domain. So this one you pay half your life points and you special summon an extra deck monster, pretty much using your main deck, your hand and field. So you kind of want to hard draw this one and Frenzy, or search one off of Thesia and set it obviously. So this deck obviously wants to go first, and this is one of the big power play cards. Interesting fact that it has to be done in the main phase, so you can be liable to say being cosmic and things in the standby. But they do also have a banish from grave effect to protect from burn damage. We play 3 Frenzy, so this is one of the new cards. This one is similar, but you banish only using a card from the main deck and from the extra deck. So this helps you get into Rexstum like straight away basically, which pretty much stops your opponent from playing. But it also, you can burn out quite quickly. Same again, you can banish to stop any burn. I've upped this to 2. I was only playing 1, but I think if you have like your Theresia and you've already got like a Frenzy, this is really good to set, because it's a counter trap, so it negates spells and traps by popping one of your Dinomorphias. So if you've used your Theresia, set this off it, and then you've got your Frenzy, then at least you've got something to protect. So yeah, I'm quite liking this, and you can also banish it from grave to stop battle damage. Because your life points are so low, it's good to have one of the battle damage negations. Play Brute, which is a similar sort of thing. It's pop one of your Dinomorphias, and then non-target pop one of theirs. So yeah, it's another good one of. They're all quite easy to sort of set or to send to grave and copy. And then I was playing 2, but I've cut this down to 1. So this one pretty much is like a recovery play, or you can special summon back, say 2 of your main deck ones to get both their effects off. But you can special summon Dinomorphias, which the combined levels equal 8. So if you've correctly summoned like a Rexstum, you can spec that back, or you can get like 2 of the main deck ones, whatever you want to grab. Play 3 Solemn Judgment. Just being able to negate summons, spells, traps is really good. It's always live as well because it's a half life point cost. We play 3 copies of Strike, which is also a great card, I'm sure you'll know. I do prefer Judgment because sometimes your life points will be really low and you can't use this, so it's probably best to use that first. And then we finish it off by playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, just in a generic trap, and obviously be able to use it from hand, so it's good going first and going second. So next we go to the extra deck. We play 3 copies of Kentragina. The deck can gas out quite quickly, so I wanted to max out on this one. It's got 4,000 attack, but it will lose attack based on your life points. So if you've got 4k, then it's losing 4k, so it's on 0, so you have to kind of activate a few Dinomorphia cards to get the benefit. And then it also has a effect to banish a Dinomorphia trap to copy its effect, and you pay half your life points again. So once you've summoned it and then use that effect, it's going to have 2k straight away, and it just gets stronger and stronger. And it also does float as well. So another one of the new cards, Rexstum. This card is crazy. So you primarily will use Frenzy to bring this out, but you can use Domain and then fuse away like your Kentragina. But it's pretty much like a skill drain. So any of your opponent's monsters they control with attack equal to or greater than the owner's life points can't activate their effects. So because you keep halving your life points, you'll be down to say like 1,000 or whatever really quickly. So for example, anything with 1,000 attack or over is pretty much negated, which, you know, is quite oppressive. It's also got 3,000 body, and it also has a quick effect to make the opponent's monsters equal your life points, and you half your life points as well while doing it. So you'll pay the cost, say go down to 500, and then it will resolve to make all their stuff equal that amount. So it can actually up, say, really weak things as well to negate them. And it can float as well into a level 6 or lower, so you can float into Kentragina. Play 1 Stealth Bergia. I very rarely make this. It is a level 6. It can burn the opponent when they activate an effect for what their monster's attack is. So, you know, it can come up. but usually I'll send it to grave to fuse into something else. When you have 2,000 or less life points as well, and this is out, you don't have to pay like the cost for traps or to activate Dinomorphia effects as well, so that's kind of nice. Like I said about the Solemn Strike, you know, you can, even when you've got really low life points, you can bring that and still make it live. We are playing Super Poly when we get to the side, so that's why this is in here, just 2 darks, and then it's a negate when it comes out. We play 2 of Lebellion. So yeah, it's quite a cheap engine to put in, just buy structure decks basically, the Albaz Strikes. So this is one of the targets, and then you can shuffle things back in to fuse. So you can fuse into a Mirror Jade if you want, or you can also, if you've got the resources, say if it's like in a grind game, you can probably make a Dinomorphia fusion. I just don't like the discard part of it, so we do also play one of these, so quite often I'll use this as well, and that's partly why I'm playing the Veilers, just so there is a light to make it, and then banish the things so I don't have to discard. You can also send that off Mirror Jade as well to search like a Brand Fusion in the end phase. And then 2 Mirror Jade, so he's just great, like the non-target banish, and then being able to board wipe as well if they do remove him. So yeah, I'm sure most people have seen that card already. We play 1 Dolker. You might think like, why am I not playing like more of the XZs, because there's a lot of level 4s, but I just didn't think it came up that much. I think the fusion based part is good. So just playing like the 1 XZs, and I think Dolker is good, just having the 2 negate destroys, just helps sort of reinforce when you're pushing for game. But like if you're playing things like copying the alert effect, you get locked into Dinomorphias as well. If you use Brand Fusion, you locked into fusion, so yeah, I didn't really want to go too heavy on them. We're playing 1 copy of Dark. It's a dark deck, so with what the meta is like, a lot of people playing things like Despia, be able to grab something out of your opponent's grave and then use it for, you know, pushing for game, use its effect, whatever, link it off, you know. Well, we don't play any more links, but yeah, good card. And then this boy here is one of the new cards. This is basically a boss monster for the deck. It doesn't say Dinomorphia, but it might as well. So one of the reasons we were playing Destrudo is because of this guy. So to show an example, so we play a lot of level 8s. So we've got like the Rex, we have the Dragostapelia, and we also have the Brandeds. So like if any of those are out, you kind of you've used the banish or whatever off that, you don't need it anymore. You've sent the Destrudo off Branded Fusion, for example, and then quite often you'll have a level 4 because of the recursion that the deck has. So say you've got like a Diplos, so this could either be in your hand or grave, so you'll half your life points, so you can always pretty much activate it, target that. So it'll summon, make itself a level 3. So you've got your tuner, level 8, level 3, then you make your level 11 synchro. You can also do it, I guess, by copying Kentragina to make it a level 1 and then using itself with the Heavenly Prisons. And same with Veiler, you can normal summon a Veiler with a Heavenly Prison, make it a level 11 that way. But this with the level 8 is probably the most consistent, and I have been doing it quite a bit. But yeah, this guy is a beast. He has 3,500 attack and 3,500 defense straight off the bat. And then at the start of the battle phase, you can make him gain attack based on the difference between yours and your opponent's life points. So if you're halving your life points, you're on say 500 and your opponent's still on 8k, then it'll boost him up to 11,000 attack. So just 1 attack and you probably swing in for game if it's in attack position. You can also pay 1,000 to pop one of yours and one of theirs. And it is also unaffected by activated card effects when you're on less life points or equal to. So it's pretty much like an invincible boss monster that's just going to kill them in one. So it's kind of like the access code of the deck. And last of all, we'll finish it off with the side deck. So we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom. The main deck's really tight, so just siding that at the moment. Just a generically good card. Playing 3 copies of Nib. I was toying around with Token Collector, but I guess it depends on where you're playing. There's a lot of people playing Salad, like locally, so I thought that would be a good call. But yeah, if you know there's a lot of people playing like Sword Soul or Adventure, then anything else. Play 1 Feather Duster and 2 Cosmic Cyclone, just as your back row removal. Play 3 Super Poly. The meta's quite sort of dark heavy and you know, branded and Desperate and everything. Masquerade's kind of a problem for this deck, so being able to kind of out it as quick as possible, you know, is pretty important. And then we play 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Going second, this deck can struggle, so you want to see like a blowout card like this, really kind of throw everything at the wall, and then if there's no more negates or anything, just get rid of their board and then be able to play, and hopefully just have too many like interruptions and too many degenerate trap cards so you can seal the victory. So that is the profile, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It is a 41 card main deck, if you're wondering. I'm really enjoying this deck, and I hope you enjoy some of the spice and some of the attacks that we've put in. So let us know in the comments what you think, and if this is a deck that you've experimented with or are thinking of. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon for some more TCG content. Thank you very much.